What's up, everyone? We are going to have a reality chat, and this is going to be about Bethenny Frankel, formerly the Real Housewives of New York. She has definitely been the front runner of the show, one of the most successful housewives in the Real Housewives franchise history, because the Real Housewives, even though they have been in many different cities, a lot of the housewives haven't done what she has done in terms of the come up. Bethenny definitely wasn't someone who came from a background of nothing, but she has become extremely successful with her Skinny Girl Margarita brand and just many other products that have come from that umbrella of the Skinny Girl brand, as well as just being one of the staple and poster housewives that so many people have come to either love or hate. That is for sure. I've had the opportunity not to meet her in person, but to see her speak in person, and I can definitely say I was extremely inspired by her speech, just in terms of her being a businesswoman, because if it came down to the relationship stuff, I definitely wouldn't be taking any advice from her in that department. And here's why. Bethenny was on the Real Housewives of New York for many seasons. She has left and she's come back, and she's left again, and I believe she probably will never return to the franchise again. And I would say that would be the best thing for her to never do. But one of the things she should have never done was to marry her now finally ex-husband Jason Hoppy, because you see, she had been going through divorce proceedings with this dude for so many years that it almost seemed like it may be cheaper to keep him. Just stay married and just do your own thing on the side. Now look, I do not condone extramarital affairs, but when it comes to this situation, this dude has been an absolute nightmare and horror for this woman. You often hear about women being scorned and hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but it was almost like if we're going to give a gender to an emotion, then it would be this dude would be the female and she would be the male in the situation, because he was just like relentless in what he wanted in terms of stuff. Okay, I did watch The Real Housewives of New York off and on. I didn't really watch it from the very beginning. It just wasn't extremely that interesting to me, but I did start watching it over time, and I just became hooked on it like many other people. And I did see where she was dating this guy on the show, and like many other people who found themselves in a situation that they didn't expect themselves to be in, she got pregnant. She didn't know him very well. She really didn't. It wasn't like it was someone she was in an on again, off again relationship with, or even somebody she was in a long-term relationship with and she just accidentally got pregnant. She wasn't dating this guy very long, and she wound up getting pregnant. And then, like a lot of people do and have done in the past, people don't do it as much as they used to do these days. I say she had a shotgun wedding, but in more of the reality style terms of having a wedding for TV and for the optics. Because one, she got pregnant. So to have a baby in wedlock, when, to be honest with you, it doesn't really matter because the baby was conceived out of wedlock. So whether you were born in wedlock or out of wedlock, were you conceived in a marriage? So, it's those optics again. But this story comes from Reality Blurb blog, and it says Bethenny Frankel and Jason Hoppy may have finalized their divorce nearly 1 year ago, but unfortunately, despite their undisclosed split agreement, the former couple is still entangled in a messy court battle. As they approach the 9-year anniversary of their split next month. Do you hear that? They split 9 years ago, but the divorce wasn't finalized until last year. A nightmare, right? The Real Housewives of New York City alum and her former spouse are headed back to court in what one outlet believes will benefit their pricey attorneys more than anyone. And listen, that's the thing about litigation, guys. Those who usually come out on top are the attorneys. because when they're racking up those billable hours, and they charge more usually when they have to go to court versus a mediation or even an arbitration, anything outside of the court realm where they can just try to settle and come to an agreement outside of the court, they're going to get their money regardless. So this has to be extremely contentious, because I get it. She worked hard for her brand, and this guy really was trying to hold claim of what he felt like he deserved when she created that brand before him. I'm not saying he may not have helped her in brokering some deals and things like that while they were in the relationship, but should he get half or more because of that? I don't think so. Okay, so according to a November 29th report from Page 6, Bethenny and Jason are due to appear in a New York City family court on December 8th to address their custody agreement for their 11-year-old daughter, Bryn. As RHONY fans may recall, Bethenny and Jason were granted joint custody of Bryn in 2014 after calling it quits on their marriage after less than 3 years in December 2012. However, after Jason was charged with harassing and stalking Bethenny following an encounter at the child's school, Bethenny filed for sole custody. Again, this guy harassing and stalking her, and he was charged. Like, this is a crime, okay? Because Jason was ordered to stay away from Bethenny for 6 months and to refrain from contacting her by phone, email, or any other method, a judge did not sign off on the finalization of their divorce until January 2021. And when it comes to their split agreement, details were not made public. Although it was confirmed that Bethenny and Jason's upcoming court appearance was set to address custody, it was not revealed whether or not it will address Bethenny's filing for sole custody. 2 months after her divorce was made final, Bethenny got engaged to her current boyfriend. She says she's very excited and it's really wonderful. And she is, in a state of bliss right now with her new relationship, but this situation with her ex-husband and the father of her child, it just doesn't seem to be ending like she would have hoped it would have. But again, she had the spin-off on the Bravo network when she was getting married. It was a documentation of her marriage to Jason while she was pregnant, called Bethenny Ever After. And this was something because they documented her being on the show and her having this relationship with this guy through that season and getting pregnant and finding out she was pregnant and it all being on the show. So, of course, in the reality world, the cutest thing and the next thing to do is to have a wedding on television and get a spinoff. So, yeah, she may have benefited in terms of the fame and the followers and the finances, but this has been a nightmare with regards to this guy, because she wound up getting pregnant with someone who has not been the best for her life, and unfortunately is someone that she will be connected to as long as their child is alive, because they share a human being. They share a daughter that they both, I'm sure, absolutely love. And that's why they're probably both fighting for her in terms of the custody arrangement. But does he deserve to have any custody? Should he get some visitation rights and that's it? Because he was charged with harassing and stalking her. I'm told, and I saw some information somewhere where he pretty much threatened her and pretty much promised to make her life a living hell. So he sounds like he's very full of vengeance, and he doesn't want things to be easy and to be amicable. He wants blood, and he wants what he feels he's rightfully owed. But is he owed anything besides just sharing this child with the mother that he had a child with and not trying to take her for everything that she's worth? Unfortunately, I'm quite sure, because they said that the details of the split agreement were not made public, I should say, but are final. I'm sure he got something financially out of it, because again, like I said, I don't believe that he didn't do anything to help her, but should he get a large chunk and share of it, I don't believe he deserves that, because she did create that brand before she got with him. So this guy has been an absolute nightmare. Do you think that she should have married this guy? Like, should she have gotten married to him? I don't believe that she should have gotten married to this guy. I think she should have never married him and just did what Portia did. I mean, from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. she got pregnant, even though she had talked about getting married and they were supposedly engaged, and they even had the shots of the engagement party and everything and the proposal on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's not even with the dude anymore. Now, I don't know if she's going to marry the next dude that she got engaged to, but she didn't marry Dennis just because they got pregnant. And I believe that sometimes when these grown women who are on these shows, they don't think in terms of their real lives and their future. They're mainly thinking for the moment and what is the next thing. And the next thing is to get a spinoff. The next thing is, okay, we got pregnant, let's get married. And you know what? We can get a spinoff and we'll call it Bethenny Ever After. And we'll get married and then we'll, get a condo or a penthouse somewhere, and we'll showcase our lives and whatever. And I remember watching that show because I was interested and curious. I could tell that it was not going to last. I'm surprised that the marriage lasted 3 years, but a lot of it was contentious because she was very full of drama. He wasn't really here for it. I'm not saying that I was on his side, but they were two completely different people, and I just don't think that they should have gotten married. I feel that in a way he did sort of use her a little bit, but hey, people do that type of stuff all the time these days. But I don't believe she should have ever gotten married to this guy. But I would really love to know what you guys think in the comment section, so let me know your thoughts. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video or listen to this podcast wherever you're listening to it. And until the next time, I'm just being beautifully honest.